Hey guys, how's it going? Today I want to speak about a subject of how do we do things right in life? Well, first of all, you need to understand that there is no real right or wrong in life. There's some things that are rights and that are always rights, is basically being a good human being, and that means be respectful to nature, be respectful to your neighbors, be respectful to society. Those are things that basically you have to do right in life, because if you're just destroying the world, well, how can it be right? Because you're basically destroying our society and destroying the place that we live in. It's kind of like spitting on the floor of your own house or throwing trash in it. And that's the big problem that we have in our society, is that we actually are not doing things right. We're polluting. It's like going into the Mariana Trench, and they go so deep into it all the way down, and then they realize that basically what they found there was trash. And when you have too much trash in the oceans, well, basically you're not doing something right to the earth. And if you're not doing something right to the earth, well, you're not doing something right to your life. So that's where it gets a little bit dodgy, because you have to be able to respect the earth, and that's how you do things right. But in life, I do think that you should not be, if you're trying to talk about something within society, let's say, like where you want to be a good member of society, then that means not using too much the resources that the government is giving you, such as, yes, you're allowed to have unemployment, you're allowed to get sick leaves and all that stuff, but then if you take advantage of these things and just live on that way of life, well, then you might not be doing the things right, because, well, that means that basically you are kind of like a parasite in some way, where you are just leeching off of stuff, and nobody wants to be a leech. And then you get complaints from people such as the people who pay the taxes that will say, oh, well, why are we paying for this guy or that guy? Of course, you do have the right to some of these things, and it does happen in some moments of your life where you will need to take advantage of these things. But I'm talking about extremes where basically you get into that comfort level where you know, hey, I can have this thing for free. Why should that work? Why should I be part of a society? And that's not doing things right, again, because, well, it's just wrong. But at the same time, then we also got to understand that a lot of the people that are in power, those people are not really doing the things right, because they are taking advantage of the regular folks, the tax-paying folks, the average household and stuff like that, the middle class, really. And that's where it gets a little bit dodgy. But basically, going back to the subject of doing things right in life, it's, again, just maybe in some way, if you're part of a society, which you most probably are if you're watching the internet, and even if you're not part of a society such as a city and stuff like that, and you're even living in the woods and stuff, again, you have to be respectful to the nature around us, respectful to the creatures that are on this earth. And that's the whole problem that we have also when people are basically killing animals and doing all of this stuff. It's that you get into that vicious circle where in the olden times, well, you didn't have meat, for example, every day, so you were able to eat it once in a while, and then most people would just kill them themselves if they had to hunt, or they go to a butcher and stuff like that. But now with a mass productivity, big mass companies that can just kill and produce and harvest so much stuff, you get into a vicious circle where basically you're just harvesting, and then you're killing, and then you're also at the same time becoming greedy, because you're basically eating meat and eating all this stuff all the time. And first of all, you're not respecting your body, because it's not used to, or it's not able to function really on having so much meat, sugar, processed stuff all the time. it doesn't really understand it, so you become obese, you get diabetes, you get illnesses, you get acne, you get many different things. And that's where it gets kind of troublesome, because, well, again, you're not doing things right. But if you do things right, you're respecting your body, you're respecting the earth, you're respecting the society around you, and eventually, well, you have to find balance. And that's why people meditate, that's why people try to stay zen, that's why people will study politics and study their religions and study things that can, the sciences that will benefit the way that we live, because it doesn't take that much to be hurt, but it also takes very little to do good. And sometimes when you think you can't do good, you can. And it's just it's kind of like the little ants building a fort or building their little nest. It just takes a lot of ants, and it takes a lot of people just doing the best they can, as much as they can, until they're able to basically create a successful society. And then what was wrong, well, becomes right, and vice versa. So that's it. That's all I have to say on the subject. Have a great day, and I will talk to you soon.